eat this food, we already ate it, with humble hearts. In a world where so many are lonely, may we share this friendship with joyful hearts. And maybe we could just bow our heads in silence and today remember all those who have lost everything in the tornadoes, in the hurricanes, in the earthquake, in wars. We remember these people who are having very hard times. Lord, we ask you to give them courage and hope, and we ask countries that have to be generous with those who have not. We ask this through Christ our Lord.
Thank you, Sister Diana. A few announcements before we get going. If you open your program, you'll find a questionnaire tucked inside. Just like always, please take the time to fill it out and either drop it in the box at the front or mail it in. And if you know someone who you think should be considered for these awards in the future, please write them down so the committee knows. We've got a silent auction with tons of great stuff up for grabs. You can check out all the goodies in Studio A, the room where you got your brunch this morning. The auction closes at 3:30 this afternoon, so make sure to get your bids in by there. And finally, no smoking in the building. Please turn off all cell phones. Now I'd like to introduce our head table. Every year I ask you to please hold your applause till the end, and every year you clap all the time anyways. So let's just carry on with tradition and start the applause now. We'll start way down at the end, my right, your left, with Member of Parliament David Lametti, Robin Robert, Sister Diana Liefers, Ron Coughlin, Lisa Beyer-de-Weaver, which is the best last name ever, by the way, the uber-talented Gino Durante, straight off a hockey rink in Calgary, Mr. Kevin Figsby, Sabrina Perreault, Sister Lisa Perreault, Howie Myers, Bill Mel, and my friend who still has a sports job, Stu Cowan. We have many former inductees with us today. It would take all afternoon to name them all. So if you've been inducted into the Hall of Fame, please stand up and give a little curtsy, give a little wave, and everyone put your hands together for the former inductees. And now I'd like to ask Kevin Figsby to come up to the mic and talk about this great event.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chantal Desjardins. Welcome back. Welcome if you're here for the first time, and welcome home for those that are coming back after being away for a long time. You know, Chantal mentioned I'm in Calgary now, and every time I come back, people tell me about how things are changing and how, you know, things are developing, and I don't see it. And then I had to drive downtown yesterday, and I went down Wellington Street. Like all the time when I come home, I come through the point no matter where I'm going. And I drive over the Wellington Bridge, which used to be the Wellington Tunnel, and I get right over the top, and I look and I say, holy shit. Danny Doyle's old house is a 4.5 condo now, and it's 20 stories high. So things are changing, certainly are. And the one thing that doesn't change is the roots that were established over many, many years here in our community. And that's what brings us together today to celebrate. And we count on you to come year after year, and many of you are here year after year, and some for the first time. And if you're here for the first time, make sure this isn't a one and an only. This event survives on people coming back every year, people telling other people about the event, and people making sure that the history of Point St. Charles is not a history that's ever going to be forgotten, and gets passed from generation to generation. And it doesn't matter if you grew up here and you don't live here anymore, you're always going to be from here. I'd like to start off by thanking the committee for their hard work and for the last 14 years of hard work in making sure that today's event happens. I'd like to thank Danny Doyle, Howie Myers, Ronnie James, Glenn Cambridge, Darren McGuire, Sean O'Donnell. You know, the one thing that doesn't change is every time I stand up here and I look out, you know, the family names come back and the memories as a kid come back. You hear Roger Doucette sing and I immediately think of Eddie Nolan and Ian Clyde standing in the boxing ring when Roger Doucette came down, and I could hear him practicing the Russian national anthem in the office up front. And when we came down, as we do on Thursday night, you never know who's going to be here. And you walk in the door and Nipper's here, and Dave O'Neill's here, and Gordy Bernier's here, and Wayne Myers is here, and nobody calls and says, can you come back? They just anticipate that that's what communities do. And our community is here today to remember the past, here in the present, and to celebrate the future. And later in the program, you'll see what's gone on from an academic perspective. But today we get to celebrate a lot of things. We get to celebrate 2 institutions in Point St. Charles, and you'll hear about those. Leo's Boys for sure. St. Columba House celebrating its 100th anniversary here in Point St. Charles. You'll hear about Father Willard, who came here as a priest, went from father to Monsignor to bishop, and while on his way to being a cardinal when he passed away. And a guy who never lost the roots and never wanted to move. Every time he moved up the church ladder, he stayed here in Point St. Charles and lived in the rectory. Even though he could have gone downtown and lived in the Basilica, he stayed here in the Point because this was his parish and this was his community. We'll hear about Debbie Gunn. Share the warmth. Kid from the Point. Kid that never forget where she came from. And made sure her kids knew that. And made sure she gave back to the community. And I'd never met Deb's daughters till today. And what a true pleasure. And what a true pleasure to have the honor to celebrate her and her family here today. And we'll hear about Leo's Boys. And I had no idea that one year we had 1,232 green jackets parading through Point St. Charles. And Darren McGuire reminded me that a lot of kids pulled tickets to get those jackets, and if you were pretty smart, you took the butter knife, slid it in, and pulled out the free and the 5-cent ones so that you could win the end prize of $50 and tickets to a Canadiens game. So there were clever kids back in the Point, even back in the 60s and 70s. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Thank you for helping us celebrate. And please sit back and enjoy your morning. Thank you.
Now I'd like to ask the director of the YMCA, Carolyn Lauren.
Fitness shoes, so you can imagine my heels are even just this high and not this high. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here to honor our very special guests as they are inducted to this year's 14th Annual Hall of Recognition. Although not everyone is physically here with us today, we are certainly holding them in our hearts. It is truly something special to be standing before you for my 3rd year in a row now, and I'd like to take this opportunity to extend my gratitude for allowing me such an honor. My name is Carolyn Laurie, and I'm the Point St. Charles YMCA Center Director. Like every year, we reunite together in our transformed gymnasium to celebrate the individuals who are to my right and to my left, and who have given more to our community than we can ask for. Thank you for having a positive influence on keeping our Point St. Charles history alive and for being there for our children, young people, and families in our community. Like the YMCA's mission, we believe in building stronger communities by providing opportunities for everyone to lead fulfilling, active, healthy, and engaged lives. When you are buying a ticket to today's celebration, you are buying more than a piece of paper, a good meal, and great company. You are directly contributing to changing lives for the better. As you know, not everyone gets the chance to learn, grow, and thrive in a welcoming and inclusive environment. When you give to the YMCA, you are helping so many people get the support and the opportunities they need. Not only are you making a difference in the lives of these people, you are also helping your entire community. You are helping it become more healthy, inclusive, and engaged. You are helping it become stronger. Your gift helps individuals like the Gigard-Chiquette family thrive to be healthy and active. Their story began in 2013 when the father decided to change his life. He signed up for a YMCA membership and lost 200 pounds. In fact, his whole family joined him on his new lifestyle journey. Let's have a listen to their story now.
Ça a été le premier choc que j'ai eu quand j'ai fait Google 367 livres. C'est écrit obèse morbide. Quand tu tombes face à face avec ce mot-là, obèse morbide, c'est quel avenir que tu donnes à tes enfants? Tu sais, quand tu es obligé de dormir le dimanche après-midi au complet parce que tu te reposes de rien faire. Là.
Nos week-ends avant la prise en main, avant le gym, c'était la télévision. Les enfants jouaient un petit peu, mais on n'était pas portés à aller jouer avec eux. On était assis par terre, puis on n'avait juste pas le goût. Il a décidé à l'été 2013 de se prendre en main. Bon, au début, on ne croyait pas trop, puis finalement, s'inscrire au gym. Moi, j'ai commencé à l'extérieur à faire de la course tranquillement, 1 km, 2 km. Puis, bon, rendu au mois de novembre environ, on commençait à faire froid, je me suis inscrite au gym aussi. C'est de fil en aiguille. Quelques mois plus tard, on a inscrit les enfants au cours, on s'est inscrit l'abonnement familial.
La perte de poids, c'est la proximité avec mes enfants, c'est le fait de les comprendre, le fait de rien manquer, puis ils font beaucoup plus de sport. Ils ont vu papa, maman faire, tu sais, fait qu'ils autres aussi, ils ont commencé à faire des push-ups. C'est pas une obligation, ça fait maintenant partie de leur vie. À 20 ans, quand ils vont aller faire du sport, ils vont pas se lever et faire « Oh, il faut que j'aille faire du sport ». Non, c'est « Je vais aller en faire ». Ça fait partie de moi. C'est pas une obligation.
Les enfants, vraiment, sont contents. La nouvelle maman du nouveau papa qu'ils ont maintenant, notre plus vieux, justement, a dit, il y a peut-être 1 an ou 2 à ses amis, enfin, on peut aller à la ronde parce que papa et maman n'entraient pas dans les manèges avec eux.
C'est le bonheur, là. Qui aime pas ça prendre l'air, qui aime pas ça prendre du temps pour soi. C'est quand tu comprends que c'est du temps pour toi et pour les enfants, que tu vois les bienfaits d'un mode de vie sain, puis à courir, puis à faire du vélo, puis à venir s'entraîner, puis ces affaires.
Most parents find it hard to be healthy role models for their kids. The YMCA believes it is vital to establish healthy lifestyle habits at an early age so that children gain the confidence, motivation, and motor skills they need to lead an active life. By helping us offer activities to families like the Gigard-Chiquettes, you are passing on the joy of active living and encouraging kids to adopt long-lasting, healthy habits that will help them succeed throughout the course of their lives. Because of you and your gift, you are helping us make it possible for the YMCA to continue to impact and influence positive change. Thank you for your generosity. To the inductees in the Hall of Recognition Committee, thank you for being so generous and thoughtful. We are profoundly grateful for everything you have done and continue to do for our community. Without you, our community would be a darker place, but because of you, it shines in its place. To our YMCA staff, volunteers, and teens from our teen program, thank you for always lending a helping hand and for being here year after year. And last but not least, thank you, every one of you in this room, for keeping our Point St. Charles rich history alive. After all, isn't that the point? The point is to give. The point is to be there for those that need it most. The point is to support the future of our community, and I think the point does that quite well. Thank you.
So Kevin names when he was up here, but one he didn't that we should probably mention is Shannon Figsby, owner of the Elite Dance Academy. Her school represented Canada at the 2017 World Dance Championships in New Jersey, and they won gold. All right, let's get things started with a little story about me. So I just got back from a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Winnipeg. Yeah, don't woo. It's not woo-worthy. It's the Cornwall of the prairies. You know how some people clap when they get somewhere new because they're so excited? Our wheels touched down and everyone looked out the windows and said, "Can we go back?" Then I get off the plane and you know, it was the first billboard we saw as we were driving out of the airport. It was an ad for a dentist, which is fine, except the tagline said, "Now specializing in meth mouth." Think about it, that's the very first thing that people see when they come to my city. Because if there's one thing that I want to know as a tourist when I'm on holiday is where I can find the nearest dentist for when I go on a meth binge. But I'm from there and I go twice a year to visit my mom because I love her. And because I want to stay in the will. But mostly because I love her. My mom's retired now. Any retirees?